Hi, Woody.
Hey. Thank you for coming. And thank you for being here and getting to experience this lawn and this stage. But I want to mention that I want to spend a brief moment in memory of a dear friend, Christopher Cohn, who passed last year. And he was a very fun friend, a very musical friend, and we always appreciated his company in good times. Some of you might actually know Chris Sama from Oregon, Pacific Northwest, and all around. Anyway, I want to say thank you for the times that Christopher was around and we had his company, and I wish him well on his future journeys wherever they may be. Tonight we have a very wonderful privilege. Think pre-verbal. Think the primordial stew, Think when we finally started to come together and in this wonderful farm right here. The first thing that came the heartbeat. The second thing came the story. And we have the honor to bring Chris Chandler and his wonderful crew as the Chris Chandler Show this evening. And I want to welcome you to a wonderful night of great story tells of love and the world and the place that we find ourselves in today. So if you have to go to take a bathroom break, if you need to go get a snack or a drink, what you hear on the stage is playing there, so hopefully you won't have much interruption. So have a wonderful time this evening. I should mention that right over here we have CDs and books, and also we're going to keep the tip bucket open. So during the evening, if it pleases you, by the end of tonight's performance, feel free to put something there. Now,
But if you don't like it, you can't take money out of the tip bucket, though.
yeah, that's right.
Just so you know, I want to make that clear.
It's happened.
Now, here's the thing, is everything you put in that bucket, we're going to double. And if you didn't bring anything tonight in your wallet, you would like to contribute to the Chris Chandler Show, let me know. We'll work out an IOU, whatever it takes, and we'll get these guys taken care of because they're on a mighty big tour throughout the Pacific Northwest, and I know it cannot be easy going from one venue to the next.
This is like an NPR pledge drive. I love it.
It is. It
Great.
really is in many different ways. Yes. We're going to lay them down. So thank you so much.
Thanks,
I'm going to hand it on.
Thanks, Woody. It's beautiful to be here. What a beautiful place. I got to nap in the hammock on the river earlier, and it changed my life a little bit. So.
And I am thrilled to be here on the second inauguration of this stage. And what Woody is saying is going to be an annual event. We'll call it Woody Fest. But understand that this first poem is going to take place in a split second, such as the split second between when a trapeze artist flies and she grasps the hand of her catcher.
Fly your girl, you whistle in the morning, and you start to twirl to deal with the yearning, and you found a pearl. The whole town burned in.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thought, but the words would not come. 100,000 times before they have flown freely, but I'm finally getting to get on the second inaugural performance on the Woody Fest stage, and I have stage fright. I checked the notes in my red velvet jacket. Ladies and gentlemen, but still the words will not come.
This city of bridges could leave you in stitches and riding on two wheels. Could drive you to ditches. You're better in the air than behind the switches.
I peeked through the red velvet curtain into a sea of faces waiting to be entertained. Their eyes glint at me like the lights of a ship if viewed from underneath the water. Fish cannot see above the water, but sometimes they can make out movements, gestures, even danger. Because they know that there is a thin line between their water and our air, where, my friends, another world is possible. Perhaps only a red velvet curtain exists between us, because as Einstein pointed out, reality is merely an illusion, albeit a persistent one. Perhaps only a red velvet curtain exists between them.
Your red hair glows like a late night ember, and everybody knows. But sometimes they can't remember, and the ones that you thrill, they're all standing still.
A performer on a bright stage cannot see into a darkened audience, but he knows that they are there. Performer and audience must work together for us to make this performance on this stage so powerful that the entire world can see that there is another way possible. And right now, my friends, the only thing that exists between us is a red velvet curtain, and that curtain must go up.
And every day's a stage, and everyone's a player, and girl, just turn the page. Your stunts are your prayers, you're waiting for a show. You're waiting for the show.
The house lights go to half. Ladies and gentlemen, but still the words will not come. And then they go out, and a hushed silence befalls the crowd. And in that moment, anything can happen, and it usually does. But only if someone dives in. I do so, and I realize that I can't swim. But I witness a school performing in perfect unity, flips and turns and loop-de-loops. But it is my turn to add my component to the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen. But still, the words will not come.
And if you go freely, you won't feel your own weight. And if you go freely, you won't feel your own weight. And if you go freely, you won't feel your own way.
The stage manager is backstage with a hook. In terror, I break from the school, swimming alone, hungry, eyeing a silver spinner. I'm thinking, it's dinner time. But as soon as I take a bite, this magic string sucks me out of the known universe, and I find myself on the deck of this ship. And there are aliens wearing bright orange vests and baseball hats that say things like, "Who farted?" I can't breathe in the aliens' atmosphere. The lights continue to fade.
You wake up in the evening, wondering what the day was for. And you learn about gravity, and that less was more. You're moving your body. You're moving your body.
The red velvet curtain begins to rise. And there's a polite spattering of applause that sputters into an uncomfortable silence. A full 5 minutes passes. As soon as it is fruit that flies freely, not knowing its own weight. I am floundering. I am floundering.
And every day you're thrown, and every day you tumble, and like a flower grown, leaves you feeling humble. You're waiting for a show. You're waiting for a show.
I remove my red velvet jacket to use it as a shield to dodge the fruit that is now flying freely. And somewhere in a Lyons, Oregon, alternative universe, this bull sees it as a cue to charge. The audience begins to applaud. The audience begins to applaud. And I realize that you are rooting for the bull.
And if you go freely, you won't feel your own way. And if you go freely, you won't feel your own way. And if you go freely, you won't feel your own way.
But I don't care that you are rooting for the bull, because tonight I am performing at the first annual Woody Fest. And I must be Myro the Magnificent, the greatest, undisputed, undefeated matador of all time. But then I had the sinking sensation that the bull really is charging, and that all living matadors are undefeated.
You fly through the air with a soft breeze blowing, and you don't even care what the people think they're knowing. And the ones that you thrill, they're all standing still.
The stage manager has set down her hook and replaced it with a butterfly net. She scoops me up into the net and tosses me back into the water, where I witness a school performing a beatific ballet for the audience of a much larger fish in an effort to convince it that they are enormous, which is not unlike the reason we insecure performers will immolate ourselves on stage in an effort to make you believe that we are all enormous. I try to join them, but at this point I'm just that old guy with a hook in his mouth trying to convince the fish that there is another way possible beyond the water. Naturally, they don't believe me. They put me on a radio show where I'm trying to convince some blowfish named Tucker Carlson that there is another way possible. I am a laughing stock, but at least they are laughing, because when they are laughing, I can fly.
This city of bridges could leave you in stitches, and riding on two wheels could drive you to ditches. You're better in the air than behind the switches.
There are many ways for us to convince the world that there is another way possible, a world beyond this one of dreary theater seats and stale, greasy popcorn. But the only time that we can do that is in a split second.
And if you go
And it is a split second in which fish can
way.
walk, one in which the bull trades in his horns for a sword, one in which the bird is free from the chains of the sky. The curtain is up, and I see you out there here at the first annual Woody Fest, and I know that I am right, that this right here, this front lawn, is the alternative universe. That this right here is the split second between when a trapeze artist flies and she grasps the hand of her catcher, which is the same as the split second between two hands clapping. Thank you. That's a true story. Do you guys hear okay?
You can hear all the mics and everything. The levels are okay.
Next year we'll be bringing the ankle bells out and put them out on the merch table.
That's what I thought. I was hoping you were going to say that. Could you bring my vocal up a little bit?
You got it.
Please. Thank you.
Check. Maybe mine too, just a wee bit. Check. Doom tak doom. Doom tak doom.
My friends, dreams and imagination are the only weapon that we have against reality.
Shine your light, burning bright. You got that golden beam. I'm all right, not too tight. It's just the king's dream.
It was Plato that said knowing yourself was the basis of all wisdom. But I was thinking that knowing myself just justifies my persecution complex. Now, my persecution complex comes about because I am a performer, and vicariously, I hang out with other performers. And between you and me, I am sick of all these people with their massive egos who have no interest in me. They look at me as if I have failed, but I'm here to say I have not failed. I am the grand discoverer of a new way that does not work. Someone should make me a plaque.
Poison hot, don't you start. Don't you poison me. Made me jump, got my bum. I got that harmony.
I mean, to me, the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and actually getting different results. They say that the wheel was humankind's greatest invention, but I'm here to say it was not the wheel. It was the axle. And even that invention was once. Can you imagine being the first guy walking through the woods and seeing come some kid, and it was definitely a kid, pushing something on a cart, looking over to his buddy and saying, back in my day, we just picked up heavy stuff and carried it.
Thunder rocking, lightning hopkins, fever breaking, no mistaking.
Because if you think about it, all scientific facts that we know to be true on this earth were once considered to be taboo. All artistic achievement was once smeared as vice. All human thought at one point was considered to be some threat to some doctrine, some dogma, somewhere. All human progress has come about because somebody, somewhere, at some time refused to bow to authority, but instead bowed to a higher force, the unstoppable force of ideas. My friends, we could not have come out of the trees. We could not have gone into the trees. We could not have crawled out of the primordial ooze if it were not for the insubordination of the rebellious act.
Cadillac, long and black, I'm gonna drive you back. Hold the door, back for more. I'm gonna fill that sack.
And I admit it. Sometimes I am afraid to be rebellious. I was afraid to face my fears, so I turned my back on them. We all have to accept the fact that we are not going to live forever. But I say to you, that's good, because I do not want to live forever. But I want to help you, help me, help us build a world that will last forever. And that's the truth I seek. And I love those who seek the truth. And those of us who seek the truth are usually afraid of anybody who says they know the truth. After all, one single daydream can change a million realities. And I want to build a new reality. And the only way to build a new reality is to dream. So I say, when life feels like a nightmare, and I know lately life has felt like a nightmare. When life feels like a nightmare, wake up, take a nap, and dream.
I was lifting I was shifting.
And remember,
Be my tether.
no one created this world
In bed with me.
except for you and me. The Bible has been misinterpreted. The world was not created in 6 days because the world was not created at all. Because the world is still being created, and not in 6 days, in 3. And yesterday is gone. Tomorrow we will never see, leaving us only today. And my friends, all we got is this one short life to walk upon this earth, stare into the clouds, and imagine the world's glorious creation, because your imagination is the world's glorious creation. There is no God or forever. And for that, I thank God forever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was fun. How y'all doing? Good.
Cool.
How's Sasha doing? All right. Sasha's the cutest one in the audience. I want you to know that inside me is a roadmap of the universe. Toll roads included. And my CB radio is tuned to her channel, Breaker 19. I love you. Have you got your ears on? But all that answers me is resounding static. Brenda Lee is no longer coming on strong. She sings sweet nothing. I need to pull over.
Lazy lovers, so fond of each other, they don't want to move too fast, or their love can't last all night long.
And I am thankful for you, soft shoulder, where I can rest for a little while. I know one usually avoids soft shoulders on the open freeway of life, but not me. I know you. You have always been there for me when I need you. And I want you to know that there is strength in your softness, safety in your fragility. You are stronger than headlamps and windshield wipers, four-wheel drives, and the ceaseless static of Citizens Band. I no longer shout, Breaker 19, for she is gone. And I am just broadcasting to an abandoned toll road.
Undercovers, inviting each other with so many games to play. It could last all day, but that's okay.
Soft shoulder, you have managed to squelch the silence of her absence, Can I sit with you for a little while? Maybe till midnight. Midnight is a happy time to drive because midnight is where yesterday begins, and the dreams that were nightmares can become memories. Is it midnight yet? Because I would rather have the memories of nightmares than to have the bad dreams themselves.
Desert flower, too much water could drown her. Sometimes it could be best if you loved her less than loved her more.
Soft shoulder, could I sit with you till sunrise? Because sometimes it takes the morning sun to burn away the lingering fog. Could I sit with you till sunrise? I could tilt back the driver's seat. Shall I engage the emergency brake? I could unfasten the safety belt, and we could dream like we've always wanted to, sun visors down, holding back the day.
Leaning towers, closed at all hours. Sometimes for love to stay, you must keep away. But that's okay.
And when we awake, it will be a new world. In fact, it will be a new universe, one that will require a new roadmap. And I tell you what, I'll go out and run reconnaissance and find us a new route where there will always be a soft shoulder beside me. Thank you.
Give it up for Mr. Jared Kaplan on the percussion.
Thank you.
Dreams?
I got a pocket call from my dreams. It was kind of unusual because I hadn't heard from him in a while. All I could hear was their muffled voices on the other end of the line. It was hard to make out what they were saying. But then again, my dreams have always been hard to interpret.
We light the fire in which we burn. We are the prisoners with a key. And all the secrets that we learn, they roll like waves upon the sea.
I stepped into a quiet place where I could listen. I mean, come on, how often do you get to eavesdrop on your own dreams? They seem to be hanging out with the dreams of others. Who were these dreams my dreams were hanging out with? They seem to be in a bar, kind of a seedy bar, filled with the questionable characters of illusions, delusions of grandeur. And this one arrogant bastard, intoxicated on the smell of his own musk and brandishing a handgun. And he was calling himself the American Dream.
Painted puppets, jointed limbs, we're all hanging on a string. Gallows humor always wins. You realize eventually.
And then one of my dreams goes to buy this one hot little wet dream a drink. He reaches for his wallet, and his wallet was gone. Somebody had pickpocketed my dreams. Must have been a very bad dream. But she didn't miss a beat. She said, "Don't worry, honey. If giving is better than receiving, then wanting must be better than having." Turns out she was another pipe dream. And with that, she mounted the mighty mare of misconception and rode off. Because one man's high horse is another man's nightmare.
I don't believe the believers and all the stories that they sell. Rag pickers, bottom feeders are the ones I'm wishing well.
And on one end of the bar, there was this one dream. Lonely and miserable, all by himself. Another lost dream in a tavern full of other lost dreams. Naturally, my dreams sat down beside him. Because I don't know about you, but my dreams have always gravitated towards lost causes. Turns out that he was once a great dream, a champion, in fact, a dreamer. But you know the thing that sucks about having great ideas is that hard work will surely follow. And what self-respecting dream dreams of mountains of hard work? Perhaps that's why he was suffering from pre-traumatic stress disorder.
We're all waiting for the cure. We're all talking to our beats. One thing I know for sure, you can't depend on anything.
And my dreams descended down the bar, a long smoky tavern full of glittering lights and busty barkeeps and really tired music. That's right, my dreams were in a casino. What's your dreams, gamble? Is nothing sacred? Well, yes, but what does that make everything? And with that, I pulled the one-armed bandit of alternative realities, and I heard the sound of gold coins landing in the tiny purses of little old ladies. I took some of the winnings, and I purchased a GPS for my lost dreams, but it just kept saying over and over again, recalculating, recalculating, recalculating. But still, trumpets heralded the fortunes of others. There was a balloon drop. There were alarms, there were whistles, there were buzzers, there were buzzers, there were buzzers. Well, that's no slot machine. That's the alarm clock. The dream is over.
I dreamt a war upon my dreams, and all the things of which I dwelled became the shape of my mind, and the crust of my mind shell.
Unless, well, what would you do? I took the alarm clock and I threw it across the room and it shattered into a million pieces. Or maybe I just mashed the snooze button. Because I don't know about you, but I sometimes mistake my imagination for my memory. But as soon as I mashed the snooze button, there were my dreams, dancing, hands reaching into an iridescent sky. Their faces were painted blue, and they were naked. And believe me, seeing my naked dreams is not a pretty sight. It was a nightmare. It was worse than a nightmare. My dreams were on a vision quest. And they were all singing in 12-part harmony. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. And I'm thinking, if you people don't stop singing Weemawa, you're gonna wake the lion up. Or maybe I had just set my phone over to radio, and one thing's for sure, I've got to stop listening to NPR.
Burning all the fields again, I can smell the charcoal leaves carried in the western wind and drifting into everything.
I knew that if I mashed the snooze button one more time, I was going to be crossing that thin line between genius and insanity, and I wasn't sure in which direction I was headed. So I did as I recommend you do at home. When in doubt, mash the snooze button. Because we dreamers are only happy when we're asleep. But as soon as I mashed the snooze button, my dreams were imprisoned, and a crowd had gathered. And they were carrying signs, shouting, "Free the dreams, free the dreams." They implored me to act, and I said, yes, great minds think alike. But then they chided back, saying, no, actually, average minds think alike. I said if I knew all the answers, I'd have a whole lot of questions. And with that, the ground began to rumble as if it were a mighty earthquake, tearing down the prison walls of my dreams. Or maybe I had just set my cell phone over to vibrate, and I had received a pocket call from my dreams. Or maybe it was a wake-up call. Thank you. Whatever. I think we should just keep going with Joy. But no, Joy. Yeah. Happy.
You guys want to sing?
This is one from our brand new album. This is Paul and I's 5th album, and we're very excited about it, especially to have this piece on it. And Paul's going to teach you your part.
Find a little joy, find a little joy, find a little joy, find a little joy.
This spring in Texas, where I live in Austin. And this spring, when I saw our bluebonnets in bloom, I thought of you.
Karl Marx used to charm all the ladies, but it all just ended the same. Then he started talking about a revolution, had to find someone to blame.
At the time, I don't know why I was thinking of you. I was just driving down the road, minding my own business. I was listening to the radio. I was listening to the news. And it's hard to listen to the news these days. It was all doom and gloom, and the world's woes filled the cabin of my van.
Groucho Marx didn't care about nothing. He just wanted to get his kicks. The city's burned and the tables turned. They're gonna find some joy in this.
And then as soon as the world seemed totally dark, I looked out the window and holy cow, it was like the Wizard of Oz going from black and white to color. There were large swaths of blue-violet everywhere. Thank you, Lady Bird, I said out loud. And I think that's why I thought of you, because it was you that told me about Lady Bird. There is goodness in this world. Look at those bluebonnets.
Find a little joy. Find a little joy. Find a little joy. Find a little joy.
And then as I rode a little further down the road, I'm not making this up. There was this giant yellow lawnmower mowing down all the bluebonnets. And the radio continued to blare. It was all doom and gloom, all Donald Trump all the time. You name it, I heard it, I hated it. What world is this? Is that I passed the lawnmower in front of me? There was nothing but freshly mown grass. There were no more bluebonnets.
Charlie Chaplin was a really great dancer. All the women followed him down. He liked them young, he really swung. He kept repeating those wedding vows.
And the radio continued to blare, doom and gloom, Palestine, southern border, more Donald Trump. I complained about the experience on social media. Who wouldn't? It is illegal in Texas to mow down the bluebonnets, they said. Okay, great, but that doesn't change the fact that it is happening. And then someone chimed in, they mow them down to help spread the seeds. And I thought, oh yeah, I'll run with that. Spread the seeds, spread more joy. And then I realized that flowers are not seeds. In fact, they are quite the opposite.
Hitler loved his tiny little mustache. He's gonna use it to rule the world. But he didn't like the Jews or the Catholics or the gays or the gypsy girls.
And once I realized the mixed metaphor of it all, the more I thought of you and what a mixed metaphor you are. Your joy and where it comes from is so far superior to any of the cynicism I come to the table with. I thought of you when I saw the bluebonnets because you are beautiful.
Find a little joy. Find a little joy. Find a little joy. Find a little joy.
But then as soon as I thought of you, you called me out of the blue. Not metaphorically, you actually called me. You never call me. And you asked me to write a poem for you. Time was of the essence, you said.
They don't like my dirty little song. They said it was sad. They said it was wrong. I don't know what to say about it. I'm gonna leave my love light on.
And of course I started it, but I had no idea. And now I don't know what to say here. Things have changed since I started this poem, and I'm trying to complete it, but I get caught up in the syntax. You were beautiful. You were beautiful. Since I started this poem, I learned that you had passed.
Joy.
But I loved you. No, I love you. You are a bluebonnet. You are not were a bluebonnet. You are a bluebonnet. And you will rise again from the esplanades, between the ugly on-ramps in this ugly, ugly world, in order to spread the joy that we all need so badly, because you are and forever will be a bluebonnet. So this is your opportunity. We have a little section in the show that we like to call Ask a Carney. You guys have any questions for us? I'll wait. These days, around 60. I spent large periods of my life doing I went for 8 years doing like 200 shows a year during the Bush administration. I found myself doing nothing but making George W. Bush jokes, and I got really sick of it.
Josephine?
Yeah. I used to live in New Orleans. And in New Orleans, there is a Degas museum, because Degas lived in New Orleans for a while and did a couple of paintings there. And he was a photographer, a painter, and a sculptor. And when I look at his work, I have some questions. Only you can't ask him because he's not around anymore. So I have to ask the paintings. So I say, Mademoiselle, was it the smell of turpentine that made him lose his mind? Or something in your eyes that made him go blind? Or the way you clasp that glass? After all, it is the model, not the painter, that lasts.
I'm gonna burn this city, burn it to the ground. And it's such a pity getting pushed around.
Help me understand. Was it the last compromise of a lonely man? Someday, some X-ray reveals 1,000 variations upon a one-night stand.
We kept on marching with a bullet through our head. I wish someone could tell us where the lovers at.
That black cat at your feet, prone in heat, her back curved like the arches of your feet. What did he see? Do tell, Mademoiselle.
You could be my Josephine. We're not gonna come out clean.
Did he see beyond your towels? Why not show your hesitant smile? Your back turned, another lover spurned. He saw something in the brushing of your hair. Do tell, Mademoiselle.
Hide yourself away. Don't hide yourself away.
Mademoiselle, did that apparel belong to you? The tattered tutu your mother laundered, such was her circumstance. Did you ever again dance? After all, it's the subject, not the sculptor, that lasts.
And I felt your rebellion, smelled the powder in the air. We signed another treaty. Well, you don't even care. Let's hear some drums.
Give it up for Jerry Kaplan. Where'd you get that brush? And what better way to spend Tuesday evening than to have art and poetry and music in a beautiful lawn like this? But still I ask, what did he see? A beauty that could only live in the slums, yet somehow succumbs all of us. Arms back, ribbon tied loosely through your braid. Arms back, shoulders taut, afraid. What did he see? Do tell, Mademoiselle.
You could be my Josephine.
Did he capture or create your spell?
We're not gonna come out clean.
And who could dispel what he uttered when his shudder captured your contrast?
Don't hide yourself away.
You keep your mysteries
Don't hide yourself away.
in the blackness. You keep your questions upon the canvas, but one day you will have much more to say.
Don't hide yourself away.
But not today.
Don't hide yourself away.
But please do tell, Mademoiselle, because the artist cannot.
Thank you.
Let's do. Oh, I thought it was this. This is not you.
Oh, you're right.
And then let's do Tonight After That.
Okay.
And then Paradise.
Yeah.
'Cause then
You guys doing okay?
we are. We're doing okay. Thank you.
Yeah. We can play Ask a Carney again.
Ask a Carney.
Hallelujah. Lots of
I live in Austin, which is kind of the blueberry in the tomato soup.
That's heard that joke before. You can say.
We are trying to. No, I haven't. I love that. We'll use that.
That was.
Writing that down. Yeah, we are keeping Austin weird. But Paul here, give it up for Paul Benoit. These are all Paul's songs. He's a great songwriter from Seattle. I'm lucky to have him on board.
I just can't quit you, Chandler. I tried a couple times. You kept asking me back.
We started playing music together in 1936.
That's right. Music keeps you young.
This is the title track of our new CD. I think, right? Yeah.
I appreciate y'all giving us tip monies up here. I've got the blue buckets for Paul because he sings the blues, and the green buckets for Jared because he's in a band called Trillion Green, and I'm a redneck and a communist, so I got the...
He's joking.
At times, I feel enmeshed in the loneliness and longing of all things. And I find myself performing at the first annual Woody Fest. And I look at you in your lawn chairs on this lawn. And I have to ask myself, really, what would I rather be?
I guess most things are better left unsaid. You can kiss them and put them off to bed. Even quiet and sleeping in your head. This is not you, this is not me. And so yes, can we agree?
Do you ever think, I swear to you, I will hear an exhausted sofa sigh, longing to be a hammock, tethered between two palm trees and swaying in a tropical breeze. The hammock sighs, longing to be a magnificent bed in a luxury hotel where two champagne-sipping sophisticates meet for an illicit tryst. The cigarette lighter that they use after their stolen hour sighs in a crazed desire to be the eternal flame, illuminating a graveyard of forgotten soldiers who gave their lives in a forgotten war. The forgotten war sighs. I wish I could just perform at the first annual Woody Fest.
We are strangers underneath the roof, and we rub each other till we're smooth. Just rocks and a river running through. This is not me, this is not you. We are not one, we are not two.
Do you ever think that those practical number 2 pencils that accountants use? Ever fantasize about drawing bawdy pictures of urban sophisticates in a luxury hotel? Does the luxury hotel ever dream of dropping its facade of rectitude and becoming a flop house, quartering a poet sprawled on an exhausted sofa, scrawling brilliant, unpublishable verse while being pestered by bill collectors on telephones, which grow disgusted of tormenting the multitudes for niggling sums, so the telephones themselves begin orating the Sermon on the Mount? Does the Sermon on the Mount secretly want a gig at the second annual Woody Fest?
I'm thinking of sad songs to sing, not understanding much of anything. But I'm holding out, I'm holding out.
And that fleck of lint. What if there was a great awakening of atoms where they all remember their vast and intricate histories? An atomic explosion of memory. We might hear the tale of a fleck of lint floating in the air that was once part of a soldier's bootlace, which he gave to his beloved to lace her corset the night before he died in a forgotten battle, in a forgotten war. A fleck of lint that was once part of a bushman's pelt, which contained the tooth of a saber-toothed tiger, which evolved into an alley cat, which was gutted to make the strings of a violin, which entertained elegant guests in a luxury hotel. And that fleck of lint now has nothing but time on its hands to float here and sing of love, of war, of mythical beasts, of beauty, of poverty, of sadness, of luxury. And that fleck of lint now drifts unnoticed into your beer. And you drink it down. And it sees the joys and the sorrows of your life until you too are buried, forgotten in the earth. But you will rise again as grass, which is eaten by cows who go to slaughter and are served in a luxury hotel and washed down with a beer. And we all get to have a third annual Woody Fest all over again. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I keep joking. I'm not. Give a round of applause for Jay for running sound here. I've been joking about calling this Woody Fest because some of you may know that there is a Woody Guthrie Festival in Oklahoma, and it's known as Woody Fest, and I've been sort of connecting that. That's why I was doing that.
Well, it's fun to say Woody Fest too. So,
you guys up for a story? Say, tell us a story, Chandler. Thank you.
Talk about it now.
This is a true story. Paradise lost, but probably not the way you're thinking. You see, before I lived in Texas, I was living in Oakland, California, just before the pandemic. We were wanting to get a head start on things, so we started wearing our N95 masks early. And already we were complaining that the elastic bands fit too tightly, even though we were wearing them for very, very different reasons. And then you remember the lives that were impacted more severely than your own. Loss of life, loss of family, loss of home, loss of community. Big picture stuff. But every picture is composed of many smaller ones. Smaller ones that depict lives that are impacted in ways we don't even think of. Ways we can't even think of. Even though it is the smaller picture that depicts the greater reality. After all, the littlest bird sings the prettiest song. I'm going to say it again. The littlest bird sings the prettiest song. In Paradise, California, before the fire, like in any community, like in your own, everyday dramas were being played out on a routine Sunday morning sidewalk basis. You know what pisses me off? They do the trash pickup on Mondays. And every month has a Monday holiday. Veterans Day, no trash pickup. What's up with that? Do you think they'll ever fix those potholes? Hey, did you hear that Paradise Adventist Academy has made it to the Northern California semifinals? Paradise Adventist? Do they even have a football team? Volleyball. Girls volleyball. Before the fire, these were the buzzes on the front porches and on the local AM radio station and on the front pages of the local paper, the Paradise Post. And even though the Paradise Post was in ashes, through the help of her sister paper, the Chico Enterprise Record, she still put out a daily paper. Only there were no homes to deliver the paper to. So they delivered the papers to the evacuation centers. But not all of the pre-fire drama of Paradise's refused to die community was turned into floating ash that settled on our car windshields in Berkeley, Oakland, Sacramento. My friends, there are 12 players on the Paradise Adventist Academy girls varsity volleyball squad. Go Cougars! They and their families made it out alive, but barely. 8 of them. And their families lost their homes, lost everything. And these 12 girls were spread out, staying in shelters from Shasta to Stockton. How could there be a volleyball game? But this is the semifinals. And no sport in the school's long history had ever made it that far. And their opponent, the Forest Lake Lady Falcons, assumed that the team would have to forfeit, and the Falcons began preparing for their next opponent. But the Cougars refused to be defeated. But they had no equipment, no uniforms, no place to practice, no place to play. They were all in different cities. But these girls, that's a different story. And I thank God on Thanksgiving Day that they don't see things like you and me. Never underestimate the power of young women. These girls took to social media and they let it be known that they needed this game to go on. And in solidarity, the Lady Falcons agreed to host. And the Lady Cougars, their lives in total chaos, arranged for themselves transportation from points unknown to Auburn, California, home of the Forest Lake Christian School. And these 12 girls met in the parking lot for the first time since the fire. One of them had been staying in a shelter, and she managed to collect 12 white T-shirts. And another had a Sharpie. And together, they scrawled Cougars on their white T-shirts. And they linked arms. And they marched in lockstep together, defiant, united. And together they marched into the opposing team's gym, where they were met with something that few opposing teams meet when they march into a visiting team's gym. They were met with a standing ovation. And they were met with much more. Because within 24 hours of the devastating fire, the Lake Park Falcons had collected $1,600 and laid out on the visiting team's bench were new knee pads, socks, and most impressively, new uniforms, each matched with the player's number and name on the back, matched perfectly with what they would have worn had the fire not happened. And my friends, I mean to tell you that the Paradise Lady Cougars went on to win that game against the Forest Lake Falcons. They won the game, but not the match. But in truth, they won much more than any volleyball squad could, including being the champions of my heart. And it would be poetic if I could say that the Lady Cougars went on to win the state championship. And in a way, they did. But instead, what actually happened? Paradise lost. They had to lose because, my friends, this is not Hollywood. This is paradise. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know your community's been through some hard times in recent years, and I live in Texas, and I go to the Oregon Country Fair a lot, but the sister festival is the Kerrville Folk Festival, and on July 4th we had a devastating flood come through Kerrville, and the site that the festival that I attend was not affected by the flood, but they have in turn evoked that spirit of community that is so important that we all have, and when hard times happen. And we've been using the festival grounds as a place for trailers to house displaced people, and for FEMA trailers as well, because we've got the hookups for it. We also have an enormous volunteer staff and a volunteer kitchen, because we make meals for 18 days during the festival. We had the facilities to make meals, and we've been cooking thousands of hot meals and spreading them around the community, and using our festival volunteer network to make that happen. If any of y'all, thank you. After the election, I felt everything and nothing simultaneously. Pity and anger flow from the same spigot, and it is a fire hose of emotion pointed away from the flames. Because I don't know about you, but I just want to roast marshmallows on this dumpster fire.
Motel 6, you broke my heart. New Orleans, you broke my heart. Jack Daniels broke my heart. I had my fill. Texas, you broke my heart. Burma, you broke my heart. New York Times, you broke my heart. I'm reading you still.
I love you, but how can I? When numbness enshrines this broken kaleidoscope pointed at the heavens, masking the stars. I hate you, but fear not, because I hate everybody, which is kind of like hating no one at all. And I wish that I could say I hate no one, but I can't, because I love so much, I no longer feel my own emotion.
USA, you broke my heart. THC, you broke my heart. I lit a match, I lost a spark. Where do I start? Istanbul and Paris, France. It was a dream, it was a dance. Pick a card and take a chance. Watch the seas part.
I am so numb, I can no longer feel my own emotions. I can't feel the hatred, but I can't feel the compassion, the sorrow, the empathy, the joy. Perhaps, since the people have spoken, I have simply lost my faith in human beings. And dang, I love human beings, and I will miss them. And that loss is something you can never get back.
Tonight could be the night. Tonight could be the night. I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Perhaps I have simply lost my faith. It is broken. It is shattered. It has had a great fall. And all the king's horses and all the king's men should simply have their heads placed in a guillotine once and for all. Perhaps it is the devotion of a stranger that has publicly gone on the down low to give hand jobs to inanimate objects.
Sometimes I punch above my weight. It's on the list of my mistakes. I was down, I was not out, rising slowly with the count. St. Christopher was there on deck, an old medallion round his neck. Dogs and gods and souvenirs, please protect us everywhere.
The flowers are rusting, and the robots are taking target practice, and no one will ever forgive me for giving a damn. How can the world be upside down when the infinite knows no direction at all? No downside, no upside, but still somehow it is just that, upside down.
Tonight could be the night.
Our limp compass
Tonight could be the night.
drifts
I'll
aimlessly.
let you know.
The North Star is anonymous
I'll let you know.
in this lonely galaxy. and even the excellence of a world. And the world is excellence, an excellence which cannot be denied. But somehow we cannot seem to outrun our own stupidity. And I don't know how to feel about that. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. What a nice place, and what a great night to play music. So we really appreciate you listening. We're just going to do a couple more, and we hope you have a beautiful summer.
Yeah.
Stay safe. Take care of each other. And thanks for everybody that brought food to the potluck. It was delicious. So I really appreciate it. What are we doing next? Don't go back to sleep? Oh, whoop, okay.
Yeah, I got it together. I found my inner child. But somebody else's inner child beat him up and stole his lunch money. I saw my missing humanity on the back of a milk carton, and I noticed that the expiration date had passed. And I longed for that feeling of security when I closed my airtight vehicle of my brand new car and it makes that sound. Safe. God, I love that sound. The car alarm only adds to the experience. Whoop. God, I love that sound. Sometimes I think I need a bigger whoop. Whoop, whoop.
I'm gonna build a wall bigger than in China. I don't wanna see other people's walls. Walls around their gardens, and walls around their thoughts, and walls around their hearts, and walls around their walls.
But still I have this nettling and nattering dread that somewhere out there, they're angry, underclass, urban brown people that want to steal my lawn furniture. We need more cops on the street. We need higher walls. More ICE agents. More cops. More bars on windows. We need more therapists. We need more antidepressants. We need more driver's side airbags. We should have passenger side airbags. We should have side impact airbags. We should have pedestrian airbags. I need a better car alarm. Whoop. Please step away from the vehicle.
I'm gonna take a slow train down to Nicaragua. Gonna drink their coffee and smoke their marijuana. And I'm gonna have 10 children and name them Che Guevara. They do have some walls there, but I can build a ladder. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
We need more urine tests. We need more latex. We need more tamper-proof packaging. We need more wax on fruit. We need more DDT. No, less DDT. Whoop. Do not penetrate the shrink-wrap vegetables.
You say that this is the way that it is. You say that this is the way that it is. You say that this is the way.
We need more plastic surgery. Look at you people. We need more plastic surgery to protect us from time itself, because time is a thief, and I want to see it number one on America's Most Wanted. Time should not be allowed to speed up during moments of excitement or slow down during periods of tedium. Time should be ordered to arrive on time. Whoop! Please step away from the vehicle.
They're gonna have a war. They don't need a reason. If you don't like it, well, they're gonna say it's treason. You can go for freedom. You can go for fuel, or for greedy people who lie and cheat and steal. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh.
In the remote chance that a snowball ever does have a chance in hell, heads should roll. And that's what the law should say. And we need more laws. We need tougher and mandatory sentencing laws. We need more. We're going to need more prisons. We should have private prisons. We need more death penalty statutes. We need more electric chairs. We should have electric sofas. We should have electric dining room sets. A lethal injection happy hour, 2 for the price of 1. An all-you-can-eat hemlock salad bar and buffet. We should banish all uncertainty. Oof, please step away from the vehicle. All sports... All flights of the imagination should be grounded and searched for dangerous and smuggled cargo. All monsters should remain under the bed and not fraternize with skeletons in the closet. Protect me, protect me. I have a vial of Prozac in one hand and a handgun in the other. My therapist is a card-carrying member of the NRA. Stop! Give it up for Jared Kaplan and Paul Benoit. My friends, that is not how this country was founded. Let's cut the crap. This country was founded by people who were willing to sail across the known horizon in search of an unknown land. It was the risk takers that went. It was the outcast, the refugees. It was the broke, the radicals, the persecuted, the prosecuted, the prospectors that long for a salvation of a new beginning. It was the draft dodgers, the exiled intellectuals, the meek ones. They stayed back in Europe saying, oh no, you guys go ahead, really, I'll be along. As soon as you get settled, as soon as you tame the wilderness, as soon as you get cable. And they went. And then, we know it's true. This country was founded on the spontaneity of thievery. The spontaneity to be free. And then we started having people say we want the trains to run on time. But it's time we started saying, don't you understand? The trains are not supposed to run on time. We're supposed to hang out in train stations, looking at total strangers, making eye contact with total strangers, falling in love with total strangers. What we need is protection. What we need is protection. What we need is protection. Protection from all this safety.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks,
Thanks, everybody.
We're going to do one more for you. Y'all up for that?
Don't go back to sleep. Okay, it's a sing-along.
This is the title track from our last album.
And your part is, the refrain is, don't go back to sleep. Can you hear the harmony? Don't go back to sleep.
In the before times,
I like it when you're next to me. Don't go back to sleep.
we sat on our couches.
There were angels on the radio.
And we hit the TV remote.
Devils in the dawn.
And a white dot appeared in the static.
Some was singing loudly.
And from that static,
I don't know.
the television commanded.
Don't go back to sleep.
Buy a Toyota. But today the television speaks in somber tones, and it says,
Master knows when every sparrow falls. Don't go back to sleep.
in these trying times,
You will answer when he calls. Don't go back to sleep.
buy a Toyota.
Memories caught in the wire. The hounds let loose your mad desire.
But I say celebrate how we can come
so
together.
Much to hold, more to give away.
Blessed are the meek,
We were drowsy every day.
for they shall inherit the earth.
Don't go back to sleep.
However, I do not wish to inherit the earth, but I want to create an earth worth inheriting.
Light a lamp, talk to your shadow. Don't go back to sleep.
The illiterate quote the ignorant
It's no ordinary battle.
in an effort to mask
Don't go back to sleep.
both rugged individualism
Lost again in the sea's lips.
and a flock mentality.
We're all sailing on a sinking ship. A voyage ended in the sand. We're never coming back again.
And to that I say,
Don't go back to sleep.
be a shepherd. We must be strong enough to stand alone, yet wise enough to stand together. And we cannot fly unless we first stand. And when we all stand together, we realize the lifting power of many wings can achieve twice the distance of a single bird flying alone. And when the bird in front tires, he flies to the rear so that he may rest in the draft of the others. It is indeed your attitude that determines our altitude, and our altitude is determined by those we fly with. Won't you fly with me? It is no coincidence that both sheep and bird travel as a flock. And today, I think of the essential workers as the essential members of our flock. Sheep and bird, both flying point and folding back into the flock. And some get plenty of praise. First responders, cops, nurses, firefighters. But hell, they have good salaries. They have pensions. They have a voice that is being heard. We honor them often and loudly. But what about the others? Let us hear for them. What about the truck drivers, the meat packers, the pet food canners? They are our Savior.
Step lightly over sorrow. Don't go back to sleep.
Saved are the sanitation workers.
It might visit you tomorrow.
Precious are the postal workers.
Don't go back to sleep.
Divine, the delivery driver.
Love, mercy, and soothing grace.
Glorious are the garbage workers.
Lift you to a higher place.
The TikTok go-go girl.
Craving to be what you could not be.
The grocery store stalker.
It's like arguing with electricity.
You are hallowed, and for you I shout.
Don't go back to sleep.
Hallelujah! Beautiful are the beverage bottlers. Absolved the auto mechanics. Holy are the highway maintenance men. Holy. Transcendent are the tasks of the lowest of the low, magnified through the looking glass of 10,000 eyeballs that see at once. And in these trying times, the strength of the whole is defined by the individual, and the strength of the individual is created by the whole. Holy, holy are the highway maintenance men. Holy are the hoi polloi. Holy are the vandals for vigilance. Holy are those that howl for humanity. Holy are the riff-raff of righteousness. Holy are the wretched rank-and-file rabble yearning to be roused. Bodacious are the bodega attendants. Luscious are the liquor store lackeys. Magnificent, the marijuana dispensaries. And perfect are the protesters. The aforementioned vandals for vigilance, for they, after all, are essential.
I'm okay with the mystery. Don't go back to sleep.
As they burn down the last vestiges,
The different ways it feels to me.
so that the meek shall rise
Don't go back to sleep.
from the ashes of the past
So many voices from the sea.
to inherit a world
Don't go back to sleep.
we have all helped to make,
And all the unplayed melody.
worthy of inheriting.
Don't go back to sleep.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure performing
Thanks,
for you this
everybody.
evening.
Happy summer. Chris Chandler.
Paul
Jared
Benoit.
Kaplan.
Thank you.
And everybody, give a round of applause to Woody for putting this together.
Hopefully the first of many, many, many. Thank you.